What's going on YouTube? So a few months ago, we covered the all-new Dodge Charger Daytona, a full electric muscle car. But for those of you not quite ready to make that electric transition, Dodge has just the thing for you. This is the new Charger 6-pack with a 550 horsepower turbocharged engine under the hood. So, is this just the muscle car you've been waiting for? Well, let's go ahead and find out. Let's not waste any time. Let's start out with our spec dump and opening up the hood to show off the 6-pack. That's right, we have a traditional gasoline engine under the hood of this next generation Charger. So what is this? This is a 3-liter twin turbocharged inline 6-cylinder. It's going to come in two different versions, 420 horsepower or 550 horsepower. It's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and we have standard all-wheel drive.
Now, the base price for the 6-pack is a little under $50,000, and if you're looking to buy one or any new vehicle, we'd encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes to get the best price.
But let's go ahead and close up the hood because we need to take a look at this really cool exterior, interior, and go over some more details later on. All right, so let's jump right in with the exterior design. Now, when it comes to this next generation Charger, obviously, as you can see, Dodge has really honored the heritage of this model. They've given it so many retro classic design cues, and of course that is going to continue for the 6-pack model as well. You might actually not be able to really notice much of a difference between this and the all-electric Daytona, but if you look closely, you will see some differences. Now, of course, as you'd expect, this model has more ventilation because it needs a traditional engine to breathe. So the grille itself is going to be a little bit wider in the top and in the bottom. But again, like I said, it looks very much the same. So you've got up top this signature light bar that's going to run across the front. Dodge brought back, of course, the Fratzog logo that will continue to be illuminated right there in the front, so you'll be able to see that even at night. And then as we move over to the headlights, we have full LED lighting, of course. And one of the things I want to point out is up top here, you've got a hood vent, and it actually does have the 6-pack branding right across it, but kind of facing towards the driver, so you'll be able to see that when you look out across that long hood. Now, moving on to the wheels, we've got a 20-inch contrast alloy on board. You can also get some different finishes if you prefer. And of course, behind there, you'll notice we've got big old prominent Brembo brakes. We have all-season performance tires on board, and these are also staggered width, so they're a little bit wider in the back, giving you maximum grip. Now, this vehicle will be offered in the RT and also the Scat pack version, so that's going to basically vary the power output by quite a bit, and we'll talk more about that later on. Moving up here to our mirrors, we've got the nice gloss black finish, and of course you're going to find the standard issue of things, including blind spot monitoring.
Now, at the side, the overall vehicle length is 206.6 inches, which means that this is a very big vehicle. Actually, it's about 15 inches longer than something like a Ford Mustang. Now, I do also want to point out, of course, we have the 2-door version. You will also be able to get a 4-door version as well. So if you want a little bit more practicality with your Charger, you can do that. As far as design touches, we have blacked out window surrounds. And then heading to the rear, you will notice that, of course, it's a very wide vehicle. You'll see that here in person. And as far as the overall design, I have to say it looks really quite cool. Like Drew said in the very front, they've kind of nailed the retro yet modern look for this model. And then as far as individual design touches, we have our sloped off rear glass right here. The 6-pack does come standard with the gloss black spoiler up here at the top. I think the spoiler looks really quite good. It sets off the overall design. As far as the lighting itself, that's also going to play a major role in this vehicle. It's full LED all the way across the back. You have your LED brake light and turn signal indicator, as well as your LED reverse light, and then your illuminated logo back here. Now, as we drop down to the lower fascia, this is where things really start to differ because, of course, this is the 6-pack, which means we have an active exhaust system. So you'll notice actual exhaust outlets compared to the, kind of sound system that they have on the Daytona model. Let's go ahead and take a listen. Now, as far as your safety systems, even though this is a muscle car at heart, you are going to have all of those active safety features as available on this model or standard on the vast majority of versions. But guys, we need to go ahead and talk about the interior and what they've done in there. But first, if you're new here, we're brothers and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We started young, and since then we've reviewed over 2,000 cars at every price point.
No matter what you're looking for, from sound level readings to cargo measurements, we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family.
Let's learn a lot and have some fun with all the latest cars. All right, now let's check out the interior. Here's our Dodge key fob. As you can see, they've put a nice carbon fiber accent in the background there. And obviously you have a standard smart entry system with remote start. This has the electronic door handle, so you're just going to pinch behind there and that will unlock the door. And this has the frameless glass windows for a very cool and sleek design. Now, after we open up that gigantic door, we can take a look inside this interior. So as you can see, we got a lot of really nice modern design characteristics. It really forges a new path for the Dodge brand, and especially will be noteworthy, I think, if you have the previous generation model. Now let's get into these seats themselves. So as you can see, we've got performance bucket seats. What the Dodge has done is put a suede finish in the center section here, and then the leather on the outside edges. This is going to give you maximum grip when you're driving very aggressively. One-piece design, they look super, super nice. And if you follow our channel, you know that Mason and I are big fans of red interiors. Since both of our long-term testers have red interiors, this is certainly the interior color I would go with on this Charger. It looks fantastic. Now, as far as the seat controls, you can see we've got a ton of different adjustment options, including a power thigh extension. You also have 4-way lumbar support. Memory seats on your upper end examples are going to be located here on the door trim as well. But let's go ahead and climb on inside. Closing up the door there, let's look at the cabin materials. So along the door trim, we've got a leather material with a stitching detail in 2 different colors. Through the center section, you've got this really cool textured material, which actually does have illumination kind of behind it that shines up through it. It's what Dodge calls the attitude adjustment lighting, which is pretty cool. The leatherette material continues across the entire upper part of the dashboard, as well as through here and through the center section. A little bit of Charger branding up there at the top. And then as we move down to the center section, nice padding down along here. But let's go ahead and fire up the engine here with the prominent push button start. Oh yeah, I definitely like that startup sound. It has a sporty kind of spirit to it. Obviously very different than that Daytona model with the Fratzonic exhaust kind of powered by the speaker system. This does give you that really, of course, authentic feel. Now let's move to the gauge cluster. First of all, we've got the very prominent 16-inch gauge cluster design. This is on your up-level examples of the Charger. Very reconfigurable with different designs depending on which type of drive mode that you're in. Additionally, you can get a head-up display, which we have on today's example as well. As we move back to the steering wheel, we've got the latest Dodge design. Really cool with flat bottom and top, as well as perforated bolstering over here. It's power tilt and telescoping on these upper end examples. And then you have some paddle shifters on the back of the steering wheel as well in your drive mode selector. Compared to the Daytona model, you just don't have that power boost button because obviously this is electric, so they're not going to change the power output on demand. Now, turning over here to our interior storage next, this opens to the side. We've got a nice looking center console there with plenty of space, although here in Detroit today, with this early first look, we don't have our donuts with us. We'll have to save that for later to put it through its paces. That being said, obviously for a 2-door model, space is tremendous. You have your 2 cup holders. You also have a big old storage bucket up here in the front with a wireless phone charging pad. Moving back, we've got that signature pistol grip shifter. So you're just going to be able to pull that back for drive, up for reverse there. And there's your 360-degree camera system. You also have your electronic parking brake located right there. And then as we move up into this area, we've got our climate controls kind of located right across here. So these are haptic touch. So you just kind of put your finger on there, you get a little bit of vibration as you go up and down with the dual zone automatic system. If you need some additional functions, you can click in that comfort menu and have those things on the display. Some of those things I want to mention is the fact that heated seats and ventilated seats are offered on this model. You also have the shortcuts along the side here and a heated steering wheel. So certainly, even though you have the performance seats and a lot of sporty elements, you don't get cut out of all the different luxury features that you desire as well. Now, as far as the screen itself is concerned, this is a 12.3-inch display. It's running Uconnect 5.0. We have things like built-in navigation. It should be very familiar to a lot of people who have Stellantis products now. Also, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are both supported with this system, and they run wirelessly. Inside the vehicle menu, you can go to some custom information, including your performance pages and your race options. Up top, we've got an auto-dimming mirror. You also have your 3 HomeLink universal remotes located right there. And then as Mason kind of pans back there, we've got a gigantic panoramic sunroof on board. Just be aware, this does not open up, and it also does not have a sunshade.
And now let's go ahead and quickly check out the rear seat. So in order to get back here, they have made it quite easy. You just locate this little strap right here. That's going to allow the seat to kind of power slide out of the way. And just go ahead and take a little bit of a preview at those rear seats. I have to say, there is a lot of room. Now, do keep in mind we are on a pretty limited time frame with this vehicle, so I won't be able to get, cargo link or measurements that we typically do in some of our reviews. However, I am going to hop back here and just kind of show you what it looks like. We do already have a Dodge Charger coupe review on the channel if you'd like to check that out. But oh my goodness, we're sitting at about 37 inches of legroom, 37 inches of headroom. As a matter of fact, Dodge is actually saying this is very similar in size to that 4-door version that they are also offering in the lineup. I'm 5'9" for reference, and this seat is actually slid most of the way back, and I still have plenty of room. I have a nice padded armrest over here, and I also have quite a few features. You'll see that here in the center section. We have heated back seats, 2 USB ports, and we also have rear vents. So quite a lot going on back here in terms of space and features, and a lot more practicality than you might would expect. Now let's check out the cargo area as well. In order to open it up, you just press this button right here. That's going to open up the lift back. Dodge is saying about 22 cubic feet of space behind the second row of seats. If we fold those seats down, we're looking at about 37 cubic feet of space. That is a ton of room, guys, especially for, a 2-door coupe like this. I think it's going to be a lot more practical than your average muscle car such as the Mustang. Now, I do want to remind you, of course, if you want all the cargo length, width, and height figures, we don't have time to do that on today's video, but we do have a video already on the channel, as I already stated. Now, underneath of the floor, we have a little bit of extra space, and of course, just a lot of room, a lot of length as well.
But now, of course, we need to pop the hood so we can take a look at the star of the show. That, of course, is the Sixpack, the engine, the Hurricane 3-liter twin turbocharged inline 6-cylinder. So this model is going to be making really excellent power no matter which version you choose. So if you choose the RT, that's going to be the base model, and you're still going to get 420 horsepower on board. But if you really want to dial things up, you can choose the Scat Pack. That's what we have here. And this is going to bump you up to the high output version of the Hurricane engine, making 550 horsepower. Now, of course, if you're tuned into the muscle car wars, you might be thinking about the Mustang. The GT Mustang is kind of going to fit right in between those models. So this is going to be up quite a bit in terms of power if you're choosing the Scat Pack over a Mustang GT. Dodge is saying that this will go 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. So you can tell that's going to be a 3-point something, which is going to be very, very fast. A little slower than the all-electric Daytona version, of course, but this is going to be a different experience, I certainly think, out on the road. Now, this is going to be paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. All-wheel drive is standard, but Dodge does say that you can actually disconnect the all-wheel drive system to use this basically as a rear drive muscle car. So that, of course, is going to allow you to kind of have some extra fun if you want to go to a parking lot, do some donuts, or go out on the racetrack and really get kind of squirrely. It's definitely going to allow you to have that while you also have that all-season traction for all the rest of the time when you're driving. Now, speaking of driving, this of course is a very early first look at this product, so we're not going to be able to drive it yet today, but we certainly look forward to taking this out on the road and showing you guys all the performance that the six-pack model is delivering. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel because we will certainly be driving it in the future.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about pricing when it comes to this Dodge Charger. So we do have official pricing from Dodge at this point. So it's going to start just a hair under $50,000. That is for the RT 6-pack model. Now, if you want the Scat pack, that's going to go up to $54,995. And then, of course, you have the electric Daytona versions as well. That's a little bit under $60,000. And keep in mind, you can also get the four-door version. That's going to cost around $2,000 extra. So you can really kind of customize it to whatever price point you're wanting. Now, if you're looking to buy a Dodge Charger or any new vehicle, we'd encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. The reason you do that is because we have a tool on our website that'll connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, as well as things like our monthly payment tool, we'd encourage you to find that link in our video description, as well as a pinned comment down below. And guys, that's going to wrap up our in-depth first look review of the all-new Dodge Charger 6-pack. If you enjoyed watching this video or found it helpful in your purchasing decisions, which we hope you did, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. By subscribing, you're going to be a part of our Car Confections family. We have a lot of fun on this channel, and I promise you won't want to miss out. If you're already a part of our family, thank you so much for your continued support, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.